Hey, it's Grammy Award winning recording artist Maya, and you are now rocking with the B-Side interviews with your host, Slick Young.
Category. My name is Yo-Yo. I'm not a one more. I like to flow so swift. It's got to be a gift. So yo, let the beat lift as I rip and rhyme and rap and slap all the girls who can't adapt.
I must admit, it's getting out of control. No, it's getting out of control. No, it's getting out of control.
Is Yo-Yo not baby to you? Cause you never come through with the truth. You a boy and I got the proof. You too loose, so I'm cutting you loose.
Yo, what up? This is the B-Side interviews. I am your host, Slick Young, and I got a very, very, very special guest, a legendary guest. I don't know how many things I can say about this person, and probably the only guest, this only guest you're gonna ever meet that seen me when I was a quiet young boy, didn't say 2 words, now talk a whole lot. Without further ado, the queen of the West, Yo-Yo.
And you left out, I'm your aunt.
Yes, we're gonna save that. How's life going?
Everything is going okay. Today I woke up, I wasn't feeling too good. Just a little bit like, oh, I'm tired of cleaning up. I'm tired of looking at things that I can clean up. I'm ready to, I'm using my brain. I think I was just thinking today, wow, solitary confinement is real. I mean, it messes with your brain. You just go from thinking one thought to the next. But other than that, I'm good. I mean, I get a chance to, clean out the cabinets and have great conversations with the kids and, talk to my neighbors and see a lot of people. But being an artist, it's kind of like a little bit for me, because I'm so used to being on the go. And, it's just on my comeback.
So my question, let's just get straight into the question that I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know. I see you, of course, I love what you do with the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop. And you, like I said, you're a legend. You stay finding a way to perform somewhere. You also, I've been seeing you do the Black College Expo thing.
Yes.
Why the wonderful world of loving hip hop?
Well, I mean, it was a great way for me to reintroduce myself to a audience who never knew me, would probably never get to know me unless I come into their world. Me, it was a business move. I mean, loving hip hop. It's always like I've worked with so many different kids anyway, and I get that, for me, I wanted to do it, to be totally honest. I wanted to do it. I didn't know that, I didn't watch it the way it is now, so I never knew that it was all this drama, the way, that I see it. But, I deal with kids all the time. I mean, the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop, we don't go to the parents, we deal with the kids. I mean, we used to them being litty and acting crazy and talking smack. I'm always breaking up something. The Intelligent Black Women's Coalition, it's where we work with troubled teens. So, it was almost like I was just being the mentor. Why? Can I ask you a question? Why did you think it tainted my?
No, I didn't think you needed it. I think we have with our legends in this game, you already have a platform where you can do whatever you want. You can right now go on your IG, which I've been catching your West Coast Wednesday things. Yes. You don't need for me personally, you don't need the that machine. I mean, a lot of people have looked at it. Not my personal opinion, but a lot of people looked at it. That's like the graveyard. That's the end. When you're on your final mission, you go to Love and Hip Hop to keep it back going. But I just necessarily didn't feel that you needed it.
Yeah, no, but to me it's not, because see, I look at it the opposite way, and this is what branding and things have done. It's just television. It's what you have to use the machine television to get yourself back out there. I mean, and then in the artist standpoint, for me, it's by any means necessary. I mean, I was sick of seeing stars. I was sick of seeing people who weren't really trying to be stars, or maybe they were, but that's not the perception they were giving people. And next thing I know, they're household names. People know them, you know, blah, 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 blah. They're doing this, they're opening up this, they're doing this, they have this kind of thing. You know, for me, it was a way to jump back in and rebrand myself. And I mean, you know, and I thought I was perceived very well.
Nah, actually, I closely watched because I was waiting for you to get out of your element, and you held us together the whole season.
Thank you.
Now, have you enjoyed the actual benefits of Love and Hip Hop? Now, like you say, a whole new generation sees you, a whole new generation who may not have been familiar with you from day one. Now you're on the same level as Lyrica and A1 and all these other people.
Well, and not just, I mean, I don't think I'm on the same level as them. Although I do admire them. It's nice to know them. I'm glad to know their talent and what they're doing, and to build these young relationships. What was I going to say? What was the question?
How have you enjoyed the Reintroduction?
I love it. I mean, I love it because it's what I do anyway. I've been a community leader. I've been diving into things where other people don't. I've been swimming with the sharks. I've been bridging the gaps. And I think more people will want to do it later. I think it wouldn't be so messy and so nasty. I mean, you know, if more legends will come on. I loved what those New York cats were able to do. I loved it. I would love for more West Coast artists with stature and status to come on too, to make it so it doesn't have to be so much. You can really get a chance to see what's going on. I mean, 20 million viewers. I mean, you know, artists will be able to really, maybe like you and I on this Zoom call, be able to see some authenticity amongst the artists.
No, I agree. And with you reintroducing yourself again, like you ain't never left to me, but, you know, just for the people in the world.
But I did leave. I did leave. I was depressed with music. I couldn't restart my engine. And it's so easy, and you see it. And I said I would never be one of those artists who would perform for the rest of my life. Oh, I said when I was coming up. And then that's something you can't say, because now that I've been in the game 30 years, performing is something you'll do for the rest of your life. Unless you are able to create other avenues of income too, because it's just a machine. You know, it becomes your own company. You start to have to invest into yourself. That's what I love about what these young artists are doing on these reality shows. They're opening up, you know, they're using this platform for a bigger, better day.
And I think maybe for me, and like I said, for the listeners right here, for the viewers right here watching, I think it's a little biased for me, because where you say you may have, you actually did leave, you know, I'm in a situation where we're around and I see you pop up. So it's like, oh, she's over here, you know what I mean? So
right.
On a personal level, because I see you in places.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so I've always felt that. But like I said, within all that, you were able to release a new song.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
How does it feel from releasing Out of Control to when you release Can't Play With My Yo-Yo?
You know, it feels so much better for me because, well, I mean, the excitement, well, I mean, that's a heavy contrast, because I love, you know, You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo. I didn't know what to expect. It was more blindside, but I loved it. This time I get a chance, I'm enjoying it more because of the walk. I'm able to walk my project in. I feel as if we're probably at the same place, but now I get a chance to shake hands with the people who are introducing my record, or I get to know, and it's not so much of from the older days when I was coming up, it was more so you had a regional rep. Every city you go to, someone would introduce you. So I never made contacts. So I never had the relationships, nor I never had the contacts. It was just an artist coming in. Hey, we got so-and-so, boom, 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 boom. The artist comes in, do it. The next thing you know, the artist is gone, no contact. People still have to go through the label. It was a funneling system that they were using. And for me, when I got ready to say, okay, the label doesn't want me anymore, and it's time for me to move on and do my own thing. Now it was almost like, hell, where do I go? Who do I talk to? Where are my relationships? Who's so and so? I remember so and so who worked here. How do I read? So so now coming back around, I could never help anybody else funnel them through this tunnel, because I never had the relationships. And so this walk is helping me, not just me fall in love with music all over again, but I'm able to bring young talent with me.
Now, when I first of all, I love the Out of Control single. I like the video. The video is pretty dope. I actually seen Eric in the video. I've seen Eric in that video.
Hey!
What made you go with that single? And when I asked that question, because I appreciate you kept it originally you, with the exception of you going in. I mean, I understand the politics of the business, but you could have easily went and hopped on the Meg Thee Stallion song or hopped on such and such a song. You kept this West Coast. You kept it originally you. It just sounds like today you.
Right. I was so proud of this song. I mean, it was almost like depression. Let's just say that. I didn't know I was depressed until I was out of depression. Same thing with music. I didn't know I wanted to do music again until I heard this track and I said, oh my God. Because see, I had writer's block. I used to try to write and blah. I wasn't feeling it. When I heard this track for some other talent that was in the studio with us, they were listening to tracks and letting them pick some for Moosey. And Moosey was picking some music, and he said, he played this one track, and I came in the room. I said, wait, play that again. And he had the hook on there. At first we on, then we back friends. We both got problems. And then the beat, I was like, I want that track. And everybody's like, you're not gonna write, you're not gonna do nothing with it. And the reason why I picked that song and jumped right on it, because it was a way for me to not procrastinate to myself. Nobody wanted to hear that I was doing a song. Nobody, my family, they don't want to hear. I've done songs and never did nothing with them. I've never put them out. People, you've heard stuff. I mean, what happened to this song? Stuff to wind up on YouTube. I never did nothing with the stuff. I mean, it was, for me, it was to push myself.
I like that. And, that's one thing I commend about that song is it was refreshing listening to you, but also it didn't sound, and first of all, with me saying this, I don't want to disrespect to any of my legends, but you hear a lot of these older statesmen in the industry come and they still sound like 87. You didn't sound like 95. You didn't sound like 96. You sounded like.
I didn't want to, and that's why I love being around Moosey and other young artists. Picasso is so dope. Tyler Rain. When I heard Brittany B verse, because I've met Brittany B. If you've watched Love and Hip Hop, I met her actually, like you saw it on the VH1. She came into the studio with Apple. I was originally going to ask Apple to jump on there because it would just be suiting for, I'm working with her, for her to jump on this song, and then we can push it, and it'd be my way of being a big sister. I could be around her a little bit more, kind of mentor her and take her with me sometime. But Apple was Apple, so Apple was not hanging out with me that day. She was going to cash her check. Britt said she would jump in, and when she started spitting, I said, okay. I loved it, because to me, I was just seeing the vision, like, wow, here I am, 30 years later with these, young, fresh beauties, able to rock with me.
Now,
so I didn't want it to seem like it was just going to be for me.
Now, when you look at them younger, hungry artists, does it drive you to want to keep going, or you plan to hear one song at a time?
You know, I was trying to do, I wanted to start doing one track and just get back. I want to work with young artists. I definitely want to continue building the relationships. I know I have to do that. And I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop again. I just want to keep on going. But at this time, I want to create. I want to build. The different relationships that I have with other people. The Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop just partnered with the Tupac Amir Shakur Foundation. So just I want to be able to keep up my brand alive and fresh, so people will still want to come and do other things with me. And the way you do that is by being seen, by being heard, by being visual. Because, when people don't see you, they don't think about you. And then when they see you out there, they go, oh, yeah, we want Yo-Yo. We want Yo-Yo, and not just for me to shine again, but for me to be able to go into these boardrooms and talk to these heads, and they don't say, well, where have you been? Creating some traction so they can say, oh, yeah, I know, I've seen you. Even if they don't watch Love and Hip Hop, VH1 and knowing that 20 million people watch me is good for anybody that want to do business with me.
Okay, now I want to put you in a scenario here.
Yes.
You are in a room.
Mm-hmm.
You have one producer, past and present, or present. You have one person on the chorus, past and present. And you have one other person, past and present, that is on another verse with you. Who would you put together for one super song?
Wait.
So, like I said, one producer.
One producer. One producer, I'm going to have to say DJ Khaled.
Okay, now who's going to be on the chorus, past or present?
Past or present, I probably want on the hook. On the hook, I probably want some Lauryn Hill.
Okay, and who's taking the second verse after you?
Wait, Lauryn Hill's taking the hook or the first verse?
Whatever you want to give her.
Wait, let's start over. Okay, so let's start over. Let's see. So on the track, who has the track? Great question, by the way. Great thoughtful question. First of all, I would take I'd probably take a beat from Pete Rock. Pete Rock or Ninth Wonder, because I love their soulful songs. I mean, they know how to bring a little bit of that soul with a little bit of, and they can, with some depth. Then I would bring in some Lauryn Hill. I probably have Lauryn doing the hook. I definitely would have to do something I probably have Mew Mew Fresh to the, have you heard of Mew Mew Fresh?
I am not familiar. Now you can make me go look.
Fresh Rhapsody. Yeah, Mew Mew Fresh Rhapsody. I mean, I love Cardi. I love Cardi, even though I know Cardi's, people don't think she's just a commercial artist. I just like her, period. She might have to do the hook. I don't know. Good question. I'll think about all that. Okay, what else? What's next?
Okay, and the reason why I asked that is because I have a list for you.
Okay.
First, on production, I would love to see you and Pharrell work.
Pharrell.
I think that'd be amazing. Now when I thought about who I thought can do a perfect course for you, I want to take you out of your element and do something different, but be soulful. I want to do Kelly Price.
Wow.
Now I'm very odd. I'm going to go very odd, but I think this will work perfectly for you because the contrast of what you would have to say and what this person would have to say, I think would be a dope collaboration because this person is just crazy enough to be creative with you. I would say Kanye.
Oh, I love Kanye. Oh, I love Kanye.
I think that would be a genius track. And I think, first of all, I believe Pharrell's going to give you that West Coast feel, but that Neptune's West Coast, you know, what he did with Snoop. He's going to give you that Snoop.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and Kelly Price is going to give us some soulful on the hook. And you know what I mean? Hey, I have no judgment on Kanye, so we're going to believe that he's doing what he's doing the right way. So this is going to be a great gospel track. And there's going to be something for you to talk about at that point. And I just think it'll be an amazing track.
I love you. I love you. I think that prediction, that combination is amazing. I like it.
Now, I remember one of my favorite songs I've ever heard you on is the I Want to Be Down remix.
Yeah.
Do you see in today's generation something like that can transpire again with the new generation of women?
I think so, but their egos are just so this young generation's ego just plays such a horrific. I mean, it just plays such a big role. I'd love to see it. It'd have to be. I mean, it would have to be just big, and I mean, yeah, just have to be big, and I mean, when Megan Thee Stallion did, when Beyonce just jumped on that track with Meg. I think that the egos will never allow, like, who's going to take over the track. So will they ever perform it somewhere? Yeah, on a TV show, but never getting them together and who's getting the fee and who's going on. And it's always that ego. I'd love to see it, though.
Me too. I think I think this generation needs it. It's, and with the music, everything is a revolving door. So they bring back the old sound. They sampling everything in the world. So I would love to see that whole thing transpire again with a new generation, just with a whole new generation.
Wow.
I just have a few more questions. First question.
Let me grab some water. All righty. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, no, we're good. So the first question would be, looking at your journey from how you started into the music industry to now, if you had a chance to do that journey again, would you do it? Same exact steps.
If I had a chance to do it all over again, would I? Of course.
Okay. I mean,
of course, I would do it. I mean, if I could do it again, same steps, of course I would do it again. Oh, you said, wait, the same steps?
Exactly.
I mean, if I had a chance to do it all over again, you mean it perform, or I mean, you mean life as it was, or being yo-yo, or no? I mean, if I had a chance to do it all over again and nothing changed, meaning contract-wise and otherwise, no. I would not do it again. I want more than fame. And that's the reason why I had to, thank God, believe in myself again, pick myself up by my boots, and fight. Have a voice, create the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop, make it more than just me, and create a foundation for myself. Because nope. When you're young and you don't know, I mean, I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done or anybody I've worked with. But if I knew what I knew then, to do it all, I mean, now that I know what I know, to do it all over again, nah. And my lawyer tells me all the time, when I go and bring up some contracts, he said, "You want that same deal? Then sign it." No, I want that same deal. And I passed up gigs. And business deals. I've had this big show that I was going to work with, Du Bois Entertainment, and they were doing Tiny and Toya then, and I produced the show, and we got all the way down to the negotiating side of it, and it didn't push.
Here's what it is at that point. Okay, now my last question is to the young girl who watched you on Love and Hip Hop, to the young girl who may have seen you, at the school of hip hop. They tell you, "Hey, I want to be like you." What would you tell them?
I'm a great person to be like. I would tell them, I would say, listen, you want to be like you, though. I will show you how. Whatever, what do you mean? What would I tell them? I
Yeah,
mean,
to a person who looks at you as a role model, like what would you tell the steps to take to be successful?
oh, wow. Yeah, great question. First of all, this interview has just been amazing. Thank you. I would tell them that, I would tell them that there are steps you have to take to become successful. And I just didn't get here overnight. You have to have humility and respect. You have to not play the blame game. You have to start living within your truth. You have to find some spiritual leaders or a leader and have some guidance. That success is outside of you. You can only get to a certain level, and then it belongs to, it's out of your control, and you have to. There is some. Uh, what do you call that? There is uh, some some things you have to do. You have to give up some things in order to be there. You have to, I had to go back and apologize to people and ask for forgiveness in order to go higher. I had to, show my true self, and yeah, you have to love, and that's what I'll tell them. I say, listen, prayer works and it helps, and if you want it, you have to get up every day and work for it. You have to
Okay.
fight, continue to fight.
Now, first of all, now just personally, I want to let you know that you are a big inspiration to me. From a little kid, I watched you and everything you did, and I wrote my first rhyme because of you. I can't tell you the
Oh,
rhyme was
wow.
good, but I wrote my first rhyme because of you. Because of that, I was able to go, do a lot of. I've done numerous mixtapes, and I've always told my mother, I'm gonna be in the industry because of you. So, I appreciate you before anything, and your family. So, but sometimes, within family, we don't actually just sit there and give each other the flowers that we deserve. So, I want to give you that. And secondly, I remember when I was a kid, I said a curse word and you popped me and said, "Watch your mouth." So you know what I did this whole interview? I did not say one curse word because of you.
Let me tell you, first of all, I love you and I'm so proud of you. And thank you. I really enjoyed this interview. I like my thinking questions. This interview was way different from any interview that I've done in the last 2 months that I've been doing interviews promoting the song and the single, and the things that I've been doing. So I appreciate that. I thought that I was going to be, I didn't know it was you, first of all, and I thought, I was like, oh well, I was feeling a little like cabin feverish, a little bit down. I've been drinking a lot of water. I said I was going to get up and make me a shake that I've been doing to, just keep putting all the nutrients in my body so I don't start feeling like, like I'm overwhelmed mentally or physically. And this interview, I mean, it was so inspiring to me because that's the kind of questions I like to answer. I want to think too. I want to, so thank you so much. You wanted me to ask you a question, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Towards the end, I want to ask you a question. Let's see. If you had a megaphone and you can scream or yell something and the whole world would hear it, what would you say?
Love,
Wow.
because that's what we needed right now in this world. We need love, and everything that's going on, like all we have is love at this point. Too many tragedies. I mean, not just the pandemic. We lost a lot this week. We lost a lot of people this week in the industry, and one thing I think this world was lacking, and what I do say as bad as this pandemic has been, it was God telling us we need to love each other and be home. We all are busybodies. Like, you know, you're always doing things. I'm always doing things. The next person's doing things. We ain't sat down in a long time. And our version of sit down may be, hey, I'm at home for a couple hours. I got to go catch a flight. You know what I mean? It was time to sit down, and yeah, it hurt a lot of pockets.
And be still.
Exactly.
And be still. You know, and the great thing about it is, for me, what I learned is to prepare for days like this, even though they always say to prepare. I'm so glad of the run that I was running. You know, there's just two great books that I love. One is Who Moved My Cheese? And if you haven't read it, I'd love for you and your viewers to read it. And my other one is The Alchemist, because I am so much like Santiago. Every time I feel like I'm lost, or I feel like I'm in a unfamiliar territory or area, I'm ready to run back. And so that's the reason why I never ran back to rap. I felt like, you know, I've sold those sheep, or I've sold those rhymes. Now I want to go back and buy them back from the person I sold them to and say, hey, you know, can I get those songs back, instead of just pushing myself to keep going. Yeah, so those two books, The Alchemist and Who Moved My Cheese, are two of my favorite books. Another one of my favorite books is by Paulo Coelho, is The Devil and Miss Prim.
Okay, I'm gonna need to check that out. And like I said, and I think, like I said, this is why I appreciate you so much, because I mean, like you say, I was a quiet kid. I was really quiet.
Very much. In your interview, you're so intelligent, but you just, I just love it. It's the fact that family is crazy.
But see, this is why I, migrated to you as a rapper, because with you rapping, it made me have a voice. So I wanted to become a rapper because my quiet self had a lot of thoughts that no one was listening to. So I became a rapper to rap. And since, the music industry didn't work out in my favor, now doing interviews is perfect for me. I can sit there and have these intimate conversations and, get all my thoughts off.
Wow.
So I really appreciate this interview. And this is, like I said, this was a blessing. This was a blessing.
This was a blessing. Let me tell you, I love you. I love your brain. I love the way it thinks. I'd love to talk to you again, and to talk about some other ideas that you see, because it's very rare you get someone who sees you from the outside.
Oh no, I always put in my head, I want to help at the School of Hip Hop. Whenever we start back up, I want to help. I want to get down there and help.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait.
Yeah, so on behalf of the Corner 10 Protections, Designer Apparel, and the BSide Interviews, I love you. And, now, I could say this is Auntie, you know what I mean?
I love you so much. Got me over here crying. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I really am very proud of you. Congratulations. Don't stop. Like I said, to tell you, integrity. You know what integrity is: doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Be truthful to yourself. The more you keep lying to people, telling them you're doing the work, you're showing up, it's better just to be honest, because that's the more lies you tell yourself. So now I tell people, they say, girl, you lie. I say, I really don't have to lie, because I know that there's levels to this shit. And in order to get to a next level, you have to, these are things you can't do. I can't play the blame game. When I hear people say, it's because my mom didn't do this, my dad didn't do this. If I sat here, I would never reach this level. And when I hear people do that, I know they're at level 3 of life. You know what I mean? Because in order to get to level 6 or 7, the blame game is gone for you. You know that everything is on you. You know that nobody's coming to save you. You know that that everything you have, you're gonna have to work for it and get it. Unless you build relationships and bring people in on your team and to help you. But nobody is responsible for your success but you.
I agree.